gang, this is Andy over at Falco Canine Academy. Happy July 4th, and we hope that you are going to have a great weekend. It is July 3rd at the time of this taping, and I want to put it out because, as you are aware, dogs struggle, at least a great deal of dogs struggle during the July 4th festivities. As a matter of fact, today is, I want to make sure I get the name right, National Lost Pet Prevention Month. And I believe that the reason they picked the month of July is because July 4th is probably the busiest day for most animal shelters that are picking up dogs that have ran away out of confusion from the explosions of the fireworks and all the activities, the Piccolo Pete's, if they're still called that, I'm not even sure, the whistlers, and the snap crackling of the rain type of effect that a firework can have, and all those noises and all the screaming and yelling and all that kind of stuff really causes a lot of stress for many, many dogs. And so I want to put this video together to remind you that July 4th is coming. You know, we get all busy getting things ready, going shopping, getting all of the hors d'oeuvres and the blow up slides and all the stuff that we like to do on the 4th of July. And then the sun starts to set and the fireworks start going off and we go, oh no, our dogs, or you hear the dogs yelping or whining, and then, or you run and you go to your backyard and find that your dog is missing. So I just want to remind you that tomorrow is July 4th. You really ought to think about taking your dog probably, and I'm going to say this, not because I'm at Country Care and we have a lot of space for dogs to go. I'm talking about any boarding facility that you can take your dog to, that they will be safe from running away. And that is probably the best thing that you can do. Now, you have some dogs, some of you guys have dogs that, you know, probably don't do well in a boarding environment or something like that. But I would say that out of most of the places for your dog to be, or most things for you to do with your dog on the 4th of July, is take them to a boarding facility. You also want to maybe consider crating your dog. Now, this is only for dogs that have been crated before and that you know your dog doesn't have an adverse reaction to being crated. And you have to know, especially those of you that are watching that have this propensity to believe that crating is cruel to your dogs, which I wish I had some opportunity to talk to you a little bit further on this, but it is not cruel. Dogs love being in a cave. That their ancestry is a cave-dwelling animal that loves being in a secure, safe place. Having said that, there are surely dogs who have never been crate trained, that have never been introduced to a crate. The last place you want to put them on the 4th of July is going to be a crate. All right, so hopefully you're hearing me here. With the dogs that love being crated, the crate may be the most secure, the safest place for the dog to have that feeling of being safe in a crate, and possibly in a crate inside the garage, or in a crate inside of the master bedroom where they can be close to your smells as the person that they love the most. And that is another one. So boarding, possibly crating your dog and getting them ready or in a place where they can be secure and ready for the loud noises that are about to come from the fireworks. You really must know your dog when it comes to the 4th of July. You should know your dog's reaction. Now, if this is your dog's first July 4th, it's a young dog and never been in this environment, you probably want to keep the dog close. You don't want to necessarily send the dog to a friend's house who doesn't know anything about your dog. It doesn't know what to do with your dog. It may throw it outside at the time that all the fireworks are going off, and that, again, could be the last place your dog will be, because it'll hurt itself trying to get over a fence or under a gate, or jumping over stuff out of panic, and may get hurt. All right, so what I'm suggesting is, if this is your first dog, I'm sorry I'm jumping all over the place, but there's so much going on in my mind. First of all, you must know your dog. So if you know your dog has a problem with the fireworks, you're going to have to find that environment that's going to work best for your dog. Sometimes having the dog on leash with you, wherever you may be at, may be the place for your dog to be, is with you on leash, so you can make sure and give that dog that added sense of security and confidence and courage that you give that dog by being with it. All right, so I talked about boarding. I've talked about crating. I've talked about knowing your dog. I've talked about having your dog on leash and having it with you. In leading up to the next 4th of July, say you've missed this opportunity to get to know your dog around fireworks, and now you see that your dog has a problem, leading up to the next 4th of July, one of the things you can do is train your dog to accept the loud noises that come with the 4th of July. And this comes from years and years of training police dogs around gunfire. And some of you may think your dog can never get over it. And there are some dogs that they are so nervous, so upset around 4th of July fireworks that maybe it's nearly impossible, if not impossible, to train your dog to get over it. But there are some dogs, and we've seen it, we've done it with police dogs, is that you start mild. You start with the sound of a mild click and feed your dog, not click and treat, but a click that's a little bit louder than a clicker, and give your dog a treat. As your dog gets comfortable on that sound of click, you increase the intensity of the click or the decibels of that click. And then you try, those little poppers where you pull the string, pop, give your dog a treat. Pop, give your dog a treat. And you want to make sure that when you're giving the treat that the dog is showing signs of happiness, tail wagging, and showing signs of courage and confidence around that loud sound. And then again, increase until you get to a really loud type of popping noise. Not an explosion. Don't shoot a gun near your dog's head. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about easing into the sounds of the fireworks and the explosions that are going to happen. Feeding your dog some treats that they truly, truly love, and that way you associate the loud noise with something very, very good, which is the treats in the hot dogs or the boiled chicken or something like that. All right, so then that's in preparation. You can't do that the day before. So today, don't go out there trying to train your dog so that he's ready for tomorrow. It's probably not going to work. It might, but it probably won't. And do that for your dog. The last thing that you may want to consider with your dog is some type of medication to calm him down. Now, you got to understand that you have to use the right medication for your dog. There are some medication that has adverse reactions that actually makes your dog more stressful than it actually does calm your dog down. And this is not something that I have time to explain on this particular video, but understand that sometimes the medication that we're given to calm ourselves down can actually create more problems. All right, so you have to know this. I know somebody that gave their dog some medication that calmed them down for a plane ride. It actually took away some of the dog's inhibitors and now made the dog more aggressive towards the people that were around her. So the dog who normally might not attack or bite or growl at somebody now was more likely to do it because the drugs took away the inhibitors and cause the dog to be more aggressive. All right, so just understand that some medication is going to be perfect for what it is your dog needs. There's going to be some other medication that actually is bad for your dog. All right, so we've talked about a lot of things here. There's not one solution for every dog. The most important thing is today you're considering what you're going to do tomorrow with your dog around the fireworks. The last thing we want your dog to do is to run out of panic, out of concern, because there's so many roads that the dog has to cross as it's running away. There's so many bad things that can happen to your dog, not to mention just losing your dog and never getting the dog back. All right, so consider what it is you're going to do with your dog today. Perhaps even call a facility right now. They're all going to be full, and so you're going to have to call around probably to find one that has room for your dog. But that's probably the best solution. And then all the other solutions are possible depending on your dog. Remember, you must know your dog. I'm not saying that one of these is going to fit your dog. There is a number of solutions. One of those are probably it. But know your dog. Figure out what you're going to do with your dog. If you can't celebrate, in a place where there's loud fireworks with your dog, remember that dog is your responsibility. And it may be unfortunate that you may have to miss some of the activities with your family and friends because your dog will panic and hurt itself, and it's best to care for your dog. Your dog doesn't have a choice of who it has as an owner. It doesn't have a choice as to where it lives, and you are the only one that can make sure that it's safe and cared for and loved. All right, guys, have a great 4th of July. Hope your dog has a great 4th of July. Find a way for that to be more enjoyable than not. And I will see you the next time I have a special message for you. In the meantime, make sure you go to our website. It's brand new. Make sure and visit our membership site possibilities. And we have a radio show called Falco Canine's Dog Talk. We have a new network coming up called the Healthy Dog Network. So make sure and stay tuned for all of those things. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.